So you've been around. You've
been around.
You've covered this team.
You see some things.
What do you think?
I don't see a loss in the schedule.
No?
No, I do think that they can win fewer games this year and still win the division and maybe even have a more successful season. It feels like the division is going to be a lot tougher.
Yeah.
But I think in the end they may go further.
Yeah. I mean, going further would mean, well, we all know what
going pretty far.
We all know what it means. All right. Since you've been here a lot more than we have, are you buying the Levi Onwuzurike?
I knew that would be your first question. I think so. I think I am. When you watch him play, he just seems so much more powerful. I mean, the extra 20 pounds of muscle, which is a lot of muscle to add in a single offseason, up to close to 300 pounds, is showing up in one-on-ones, in team drills. You can hear him play in a way that you couldn't in the past. Like, he is playing with a force and a violence that wasn't evident in his first 3 seasons. And part of that was injury, and part of that was just not having the body he has now. I think he's poised to do big things, not just on the interior, but he's going to play a lot as a big end also. And, man, if he pops, as you said yesterday, that defensive tackle spot could all of a sudden be a strength.
What do you think is the biggest position battle right now going into the final roster cuts?
Receiver, for sure. And I know that Khalif Raymond is wide receiver 3 technically, but they still want an X-type, a Z-type receiver. And it seems like Isaiah Williams is a legitimate dark horse. I know he doesn't have the physical traits that they might be seeking in that outside job, but if he keeps making plays at some point, you have to value that. And I think he's second in the NFL in receiving yards in the preseason. In the preseason, we can repeat that, but man, he's got a spark to him, and at some point it becomes hard to deny what he can do for this offense.
We're short on time. I encourage the audience to log on to twitch.tv or youtube.com just to do a fit check on what the Birchie is wearing.
I haven't broken out the bandana yet this training camp, so it seemed like the last day was the right day to do so.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's you know what the thing about this look? It is so you. It is so you. All right, so were you in the media room yesterday when Dan Campbell made the comment about Nate Sudfeld?
Yes.
Having the leg up. Did people in the media look at each other, or is it true? Do people believe it?
I don't know if it even means all that much. It might just be a matter of semantics with the new NFL rule where you can have 3 quarterbacks active on game day. I don't know that Nate Sudfeld currently having a leg up on Hendon Hooker in August has any bearing on the season. And I feel pretty confident that if Jared Goff does get hurt at some point this year, Hendon Hooker will be the guy they turn to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he can develop enough over the next 2 weeks and then into the season to where they would feel confident putting him in this game. They just value Sudfeld's eyes and his experience in that QB room. You see him talking to Goff all the time between plays, between reps, breaking down how he saw it compared to how Goff may have seen it. It's the same reason they kept David Blau around for so long, who's now a quarterback's coach. They value that insight, that trusted set of eyes. But Hooker, to me, is the player if they need to turn to one this season.
Who's your guy out here? The guy that you're pulling for that makes the roster? You know, guy maybe you've interviewed, and he's got a great story, he's got a great work ethic, he's showing up a little bit that you hope makes it.
I mean, I know I've mentioned him, but Isaiah Williams is highly likable, and he did a lot in the Big Ten.
He's done a lot.
Yeah, and I think he's one that obviously jumps out. I'm kind of pulling for Matthew Betts. I mean, 18 sacks is 18 sacks, and I don't care if it's in the CFL, the UFL, or maybe one day in the NFL. But the way that he displayed himself on last Saturday against the Chiefs was pretty impressive. And then, look, everyone has eyes on J-Mo for obvious reasons. And he is a guy who possesses all of the star qualities. The one thing he's missing so far is the production. But if and when it happens, he's going to be a superstar because everything about him screams charismatic and likable and shiny. And I think people are pulling for him to succeed in a big way this year.
Will Birchfield, the Birchie Kid on Twitter, and writes for our website, 971theticket.com, does a great job. New dad, how's little legend doing?
Oh, dude, he's growing. He's expanding quickly. It is crazy. He's 9 months. He's like a 25-pound shake weight.